To Tadil, Hand of the Gods Wave Dancer, brooding in her solar, Golden Cliffs estate ever meet. Mother, I hope this finds you as well as myself and Thea currently are. Forgive me for not writing sooner, the postal service was somewhat interrupted by a disastrous war. To allay your concerns, Thea is as good a holder of the brand as I could have hoped. She's growing by the day, and even her Elvish is coming along. To not allay your concerns, we and our new companions have discovered evidence that the Blood War is starting again. To wit, I was somewhat displeased to find that there has been a bounty placed on Thea's life. It saddens me that you are my primary suspect to be backing this. To help you revisit your conscience and drop this foolish plan, it appears that Father's old first mate Janks, yes that Janks, is pursuing the bounty. If and when push comes to shove, I will be in harm's way to save Thea. You'll forgive me for not providing a forwarding address. Your favourite son, Peril.
Although broken and sore from the evening's caper, Peril, the Wave Dancer, steals a quiet moment to compose a letter for his dear mother. Upon finishing, he retires for a brief rest before the third Daggerford irregulars make all final preparations to leave Miribar and escape the siege in search of the 7 Masks of Meyhem.
So a week has passed pursuing your various interests, the things that really grip you and the things that really grip you and drive you at the moment, the things that are questions that are foremost of your mind, things that are leading you to the conclusions that you seek and in the directions that you wish to go, and arming you with knowledge of future endeavors. However, you have all reconvened in a tavern at the end of the day, or at the end of your long week, and have finally decided on a course of action, which is to leave the siege city of Miribar within the next few days and make your way westward down the river towards Luskan. And from there, to secure a ship, hopefully using Peril's contacts, to the south, where lies the Temple of the Pearl Crescent. And the location of the next mask.
Awesome.
You sit in the tavern.
I guess we all need to follow up whatever contacts we need to secure our exit plan. Is that?
So you're going to be making preparations over the next day. Yep. There are bits and pieces of group supplies that you need, but do you want to have a pre-conversation, or should I just go around and see what action each individual is taking?
I think we know roughly what we're doing, right? We're either getting out through the dwarven tunnels or through some other sneaky means.
So I think we decided to just try and sneak out over the wall in the tunnels. To the west.
Easy.
So I think what we need to do is spend the next day, if we need rations, but I think we've already done our shopping really, but staking out where we're going to exit, movement of the guards.
I can take a look around and see how heavily fortified it is out there on Buddy, and come back and let you know if we should jump the north wall or if we should take
Do we want to go and speak with some dwarves? We might be able to get out via the tunnels anyway.
Yeah, and we might want to do some underground, like if you could tap into kind of like the underbelly criminals if they know ways out, if they know are smuggling people out of the city maybe, or... Do you need to talk to your temple? Yes, I should probably tell my temple that thank you for all of the good advice,
but no thanks.
But I have somewhere that I need to be.
Are we bringing Pete?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Oh no! Where are we bringing? No, not that kid. Sorry, no. I don't want Pete anywhere near us.
No. I think the plan is to abandon ties to the temple at this point because I wouldn't want to, make any further complications.
And we're keeping this on the down low to our...
Because we're trying to see
room.
Destination.
No, to our room.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're just gonna disappear in the night, and we
Yeah.
just need to make the necessary arrangements to disappear in the night.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Paral's going to settle up the bill.
Yeah.
Okay, so, skulking the walls. Or something?
So, you head out. It is that you're going to head up that night. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening when you're having this conversation.
Mhm.
So, after which, would you like to head straight out with Buddy?
So I'll potter up to the north wall.
Mhm.
As I start getting towards it, I will cast Pass Without Trace.
Mhm.
And-
Is anyone accompanying him?
For scouting
Yes.
the night before we leave.
Well, you're still not sure when you're going to leave,
Okay.
but yes, this is this night, this very night.
Yeah, I can
We're
come
looking
for
for
a
that.
wander. I don't have any other pressing concerns.
Let's go. I might have to leave you alone for a little while at some point, but otherwise we'll be good.
Alright, cool. So the two of you leave the tavern and
I take a little traveller with me.
briefly stopping by your accommodations to gather what other bits and pieces you need.
Yep.
As you are waiting outside, there's the group of people who normally accompany you, some hangers-on. Did you ditch them before you came to this tavern?
Rather than going on, if I'm meeting up with these guys, I'll.
We're at Mulgar's.
Slip out the
Graves
back,
and
your fan
balls,
club.
aren't we?
Yeah. So
Oh no, I'll just be like, no.
there are people waiting.
I'm gonna
for
be
you.
honest. I'm like, no, Buddy's not on today. Maybe tomorrow. Like,
It's not about Buddy, it's about the fact that you buy people drinks all the time and just give away money. And when you pass out, they rob
Scatter
you.
some coin, and then we'll go.
no, I'm just like this. I was like, not today. Tomorrow. Bye. I'm curmudgeonly with these guys, unless I'm drunk.
Okay,
I'm just not
so
drunk
you're going to
enough.
have to do something to shake them. Because
I will take this-
you leave the tavern. Okay, you've said, I don't want to hang out with you guys right now, I'm going to hang out with my friends. And you're over talking with these guys in your private room, and they were all waiting in the tavern before you come back out.
All right. I'll be like, go away. I was like, nope. I'm like, as we're walking away, I'm like,
So you leave your private room
Mhm.
with Thea in the tavern, and you look out and you see many of the usual suspects that all look up and notice you and like nod to each other and one of them's like, oh, hey, Gus,
Hey,
good to see
Billy.
you again. How about some drinks? Hey.
no, gotta work tonight.
Got to teach him how to leave by the
So
second story.
I'm.
By which you mean drink?
Mm-mm. Not tonight, I'm afraid. Tonight'll be just me and
I
the
know
lady here.
I know a great place that just started serving some excellent dwarven mead.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, well, they got it on special. They had a barrel that was tucked out the back for a long time.
Gus?
Just brought it up
Yeah.
from the
Focus.
Undercity.
Oh, okay.
It was
look.
liberated from the Undercity. It's not
Nope.
going to last long.
Oh, gotta look. Have a good berry, but I'm out. I just start leaving.
Maybe.
All right, cool. So you guys leave, and there's a few people. So the people who weren't inside the tavern because they couldn't afford to be there
Mhm.
are now sort of just like this bunch of scamps and beggars who it's like, as soon as you walk outside, oh please, spare some food and heal my daughter's sick son.
Those scamps.
Can't today. Healing Square tomorrow.
Oh, he's
11.
dying. See the young boy coughing and the blood are coming up.
11. Healing Square. Same place as yesterday. But
Oh, I don't know if you're lost.
I just like
through
start
the
walking
night.
off.
I'm just gonna follow.
Okay.
Are they following?
Well, there's a couple of young kids who are definitely following you.
I'll give them a hand every now and then. I'll be the scamp, leave, and if they don't, I'll turn around and like just dump Charlie, and just I'm like, keep the kids here. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
And then once he'll just like chase after me, turn back into a staff, and we'll keep walking.
So you're dropping a spell slot on these guys?
No,
No,
Charlie's
he's,
free.
he's unleashing a giant,
A huge snake.
huge python in the
Oh.
middle of the city street.
Yeah, that's not going to be a great option. That's going to call a lot of attention.
Gus, that was a terrible idea.
It's too late now.
Yeah, it's worked
it's
for
like,
me.
Here, play with the python kids. Ah! They run screaming off into the night, and there's a giant python
It
there.
might be good
Oh.
to create diversity.
So what?
if you
No
get-
one there? Okay, cool.
Sure.
Charlie back down into a second, and then we walk away. There's no one following it.
No one.
Yeah.
No one.
Alright.
What are they meant?
See,
what are
it
they
worked.
gonna think?
It
The
works.
perfect crime.
It's about taking them by
Perfect crime.
surprise.
You know
Will
what,
they
you should
even
have done
believe the children?
You should have just done some skywriting and we could have gone, oh, what's that? And then run away.
The skywriting currently says, Healing square tomorrow at 11. Same place as usual.
And you guys head to the north wall.
Yep.
So upon reaching the north wall, there's no buildings built against this side of the city. It's just a clean wall, unlike the southern city where it's all hodgepodge and a bit more decrepit. This time they actually keep distance and lines between these buildings. And there are a few barricaded entrances along the bottom level of the walls where people would go in through iron portcullises and up some stairs to the levels. You catch sight of numerous guards.
I've been watching everywhere.
Yeah, there are a cluster of guards at every tower, these octagonal towers that break up the thick wall, and which I believe were 20 feet deep, we established last time. And then every now and again you'll see patrols going from tower to tower along the wall.
I just rest myself up against the wall and just walk into Buddy.
Okay, cool. So
I'm just going to stand in front of Gus, kind of, casual.
Poke him with a stick occasionally.
yeah, you've
Like
seen
he's
this
your drunk
before.
friend.
You know when
Yeah,
he goes
but I'm just
into
making sure he's
familiar.
going to be safe there while other people are walking around. He looks a bit like a drunkard as normal, so...
His little buddy pokes its head up from the cracks of Gus's armor and starts just levitating up into the sky. So you've got a range of 120 feet on that.
100, but if it looks like I need to go further, I can come back, shapeshift, and then just ride him.
It's true.
Has a sassy raven.
Okay, so you go up and eventually get above the height of the wall, and you can see the sleepy battle lines. It seems like the lines on this side are much less active than the other side. Give me a perception roll.
Ooh, 14.
Okay. You survey it. Again, it's these signature orcish earthworks, really blunt, square, brutalist geometric shapes just cast up from the earth itself after just using mold earth. It's pretty much what they do en masse. It looks like some of the earth shapers within which you're familiar with, Bernard, within the orcish tribes, have specialized in making the cantrip mold earth into a spell to make much larger earthworks more possible in a much quicker period of time. Unlike the southern city, where it was a bit more haphazard outside as well, on the northern side, they seem to try and match the stronger fortifications of the walls here, and the earthworks are more established, literally making a wall around the city itself. Then beyond that wall, you catch many fires. A quick glance, you count over 100 fires. So on this side, at this point in the wall, there's at least 500 troops of varying shapes and sizes. From what you understand, it's mostly orcs and ogres. You haven't seen any other particularly vassal races when you were sneaking out and back in, and when you guys were all flying over the city. That's the predominant makeup. What are you looking for specifically?
I would just actually want to get a lay of the land to see if it was viable fast to creep through here. But
so, however you do it,
not
from
sounding
this side,
good.
it's you need to go down the wall, across a moat, and the moat is full of feces. So most cities with the moats, it's a water body, but they also just funnel all of the sewage from the city out into it. So it's a secondary dissuasion for people to try and cross it. It's pretty standard for most moats.
Man, it must be great entering the castle. What an entry! Oh yay, the smell of sewage.
Poop du jour.
And then from there, it peters across into a period of no man's land before it comes up against the wall. It looks like at various points the earthworks have been channels going in towards the ground, underneath the ground towards the moat itself, and they stopped a few meters from the moat, like it's some kind of path that's sunken in a couple of meters or a meter, and then has a covering over the top so that people can get to within a pretty close distance of the wall. They're spaced like a few hundred feet apart. In fact, you see one that's half constructed just a little bit further over to the side. So theoretically, you could get over the wall. If you could get across the moat, then you could get into this corridor, as it were, but then you'd be right in the middle of the orcish barracks. it seems that beyond that secondary or the first orcish wall, it's just spread out encampments. Again, a mix of larger encampments where your ogres are all sort of gathered in their groups, and then lots of smaller encampments where the orcs are there in their various tribal collections.
And orcs and ogres have dark vision, don't they?
Make a nature roll.
Like that.
Yeah. It's a single digit.
Evil creatures see in the dark.
This is true.
Evil red
To be
eyes.
fair, I grew up in the Underdark. They're all evil
Everyone
creatures.
sees in the dark.
and
Who
they all
doesn't
see
see
in the dark.
I mean, seriously, can't everyone see in the dark? What's wrong with those people who can't see in the
They're
dark?
weird. It's weird. Alright, so sneaking out at night's not going to help us that much, and it's looking pretty packed. Maybe I'll
So-
So you're gonna come
the
back.
little buddy back and
And then relay all this information.
yeah, it's not as packed as the south down there, but it is still.
Man, we're under siege.
It's like we're under siege on all sides.
Alright, so this is not a viable option.
No, I mean, I thought maybe we'd be able to sneak 6 people out. I mean, with my spore cloud keeping us hidden, we probably have not an unreasonable chance of doing it.
It's more about the physicality of
No, it's
getting
more
across
of getting
the
over the
moat
wall and
and
over
the
the moat
walls
than
and
it is
all
creeping
everything
through the
else.
campfires.
Yeah.
Creeping
The
through the campfires seems like the easy part.
Yeah, but one major fuck up, and it would be a major fuck
Oh yeah,
up.
yeah.
Saria.
Any bad roll, and we're an
Don't get
onset of
mad.
500 orcs.
One interesting thing that you do
I've got
catch
something to show
is
you.
riding goats. They have like herds of riding goats.
I just wanted to make sure.
Awesome.
And they have riding goats.
Grand theft goatees.
And
So we
some
could-
encampments that look like they're for larger beasts of war.
So you could steal.
Alright. Maybe a couple of
Sneak
animal
and
friends would be
animals.
nice.
You could steal animals.
But we have to get
Also,
over
you
Alright,
know
so
a
we
bit
should head
about
back and let them know
how
that
the
this is
orcs
not really
operate.
Yeah.
a great.
So would Bernard be able
Option.
to enlighten us at all about what that camp beyond the thing might be
Well, I'm
like?
assuming
Totally.
you're.
Ask me any question. I was an
While
orcish
these guys are
slave
doing
for 8
this,
months.
is there anything else that other people would want to do tonight before you all rendezvous back together? Because that will take an
Yeah.
hour or so.
Well,
Yeah, I'm just quickly summoning the nightmare just to make sure that I can, and then telling Saria, and then just.
Okay, so you take the time to actually read through the spell, and it looks like it takes a large amount of effort to summon the nightmare to this plane of existence.
Uh-huh.
So you have to bind a lesser devil, and then discover the location and name of a nightmare. And then once you've done that, you have to sacrifice the lesser devil to open a portal to summon the nightmare through, and you have to have fresh live humans for it to eat in order to lure it
Fresh,
there.
live humans?
Yes, and tortured, because you have to get them in the state of mind that would attract the nightmare. So similar to the way it was formed by creating that sense of affinity. So you need to torture them to the point of despair,
Okay, so
And
that
once
takes
you-
what, about an hour? We got the hour?
and once you've broken them,
Peter.
then you use the channel of the lesser devil to bring the nightmare through. But once it is in this plane of existence, you just follow the standard commands that you were previously using to control.
And did I dispel the one that we had?
You
Yeah.
banished it.
That was a waste. That
Bad
had to be a
lost
waste.
it back to hell.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of effort.
2 people, 1
But it
hour.
means you know the name of one nightmare.
In, out,
But you
no
don't know
questions
the
asked.
location of it.
Looking back on that, it's true. You do. That nightmare was it's written in the notes, and you refer to the lexicon, the grimoire at the back, and the name of that nightmare was Dithel Arn,
How would you
and
spell
it
that?
was the personal mount Dithel Dithl -ARN. And it was the personal mount of Crox Angor, Lesser Duke of Hell, or Lesser Duke of the Seventh Circle.
Fancy.
You
Well,
stole
of
a
who, Duke?
rich devil's
Crox Angor,
sports
Cross.
Angor.
Lesser Duke of Hill.
That's great.
Yeah.
Lesser.
We had US Crocs.
I think technically I'm a duke.
Of the Seventh Plane.
Seventh thing.
Oh, the
Oh,
seventh
sorry.
plane.
You deep.
What's that? Malboge.
He's rolling deep.
Super nice.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. So significant.
Small brimstone.
Probably like 5 levels beneath the upper level. You know, he's not an archdemon or anything like that, but he's definitely significant and has a few hosts.
This is Croc's Angor as opposed to
Yes.
Titlan. Just to
Titlan is the name, but it is a known and named nightmare because there are only so many nightmares. It's not like there's thousands of them. Perhaps there was as many as 1,000 that have been made in the history, well-known history.
Okay, so probably not doing that then. Are you gonna find some weapons?
I don't think the
If he would, he wasn't going to tell you.
Did you tell us? Oh, sorry. Did you tell us about this ritual?
No, I told Saria,
This is
my
just
buddy.
the evil characters. We bookend them
This
with
is
two
Team Get
reasonable
It Done.
characters. We keep them apart.
This isn't to feel good about ourselves.
we're not allowed to be alone with each other in a room for exactly this problem.
Okay,
When
so
you just
meanwhile,
actually had the evil in the
so
middle.
you two are having that conversation. Yes. Is there anything else that you're doing? Saria, a spear. Sorry.
I suppose I'd be trying to talk to Peter about ways out through the Dwarven tunnels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to go and find Peter back at the temple?
I suppose so. And
Peter's
I
a
can use
bit of
it.
a road bump. We should just go.
Or do you want
back
to go
into
back
the
to
dwarves
talk
and
to
go,
the dwarves? Okay, yeah.
You
Let's do that.
owe us. Help us get the hell out of this
I
place.
gleaned a lot about the makeup of the dwarven royalty from Peter over the last week of chattering to me
Yeah,
about
look,
it.
the dwarves in
Just all
Miribar
the
are
pocket
essentially based on almost a trade guild structure. So they're families that operate certain smelting and refining facilities and then have monopoly on trading the goods that come from the northern mountains through the tunnels.
They're
to
all
refine
about
them.
the kind of culture of like deals, scratch my back, I'll scratch your back kind
Very
of.
much so, yeah.
That's how you get in with them.
Or if you want to get them, Peter's like, oh, nothing gets a dwarf more excited than a good ale or a mead.
Cheese.
So we're gonna have a drink with some dwarves.
Damn
to
right, we're gonna have a drink
bit
with
of
some
a
dwarves.
conversation about what we might be able to do for them that might convince them to tell us a way out of this city that doesn't involve going over the walls.
Yep.
Okay. So, where are you going to go to do this?
So we knew the merchants from the what was the name of the?
There was the merchant that you dealt with, the peddler, who you sold your
Yes.
armor to get the dagger.
And then there was the guy who we negotiated with.
The head
to
of
get
the market
way
was
ere it opened.
Goldbeard.
So, yeah,
Goldbeard.
Goldbeard, he was running the militia in the market in the south.
Yes.
And
He's our only connection there.
Given that we
True.
went through him to actually open up the tunnels
Well, and we already
to
have
everyone,
some faith, and if he's a trading kind of person,
Yeah.
then it's all about relationships. And
I reckon it's
connections,
worth starting
so-
again with him.
Was when I saw him, was I Andal Wentworth? Oh no,
Yeah.
Brian Wentworth. I
You-
think I was.
yes.
So I will have to
Yeah.
re-adorn myself in Brian
Let's-
Wentworth's clothing to tap
Get
into that
yourself
relationship.
Wentworthed up.
I'm learning. And also I've been practicing all of this
Yeah.
aristocratic political
Oh.
stuff, so she should
Pinky's
be better
out.
at it than last time.
So the two of you guys head out. It's just you two, yes?
Yep.
All right.
Not taking my
So
archmage?
you go. Well, you all go
No,
back to
he's
your
colluding.
accommodations.
That's right.
You guys go to read, and you two
We're on
go
the
to
wall.
grab your things before heading out against the wall. So you two move back to the southern part of the river side of the northern city. And it's about 9 o'clock at night, but there still seems to be quite a bit of activity going around.
Starting.
Most of the refugees at this point have really filtered through already from the southern city, and it seems like this entrance to the underground marketplace on this side that you come back to is now mostly been taken over by militia and military camps. So there are the square that it opens out to is pretty much been taken up by about 6 large campfires around which sit various soldiers. Looks like there's a medical tent that's set up off to the side, and you see there are several people, probably about 8 dwarves and humans, keeping guard around the entrance to the Undercity, and a few other people here and there, as well as the usual peddlers and refugees who are just leaning to the side or begging. You catch sight of a few kids who are just running around trying to get what scraps they can that are left over.
I have brought one of our extra robust cheese packets.
Yep.
As a bit of a...
This is some of the
Yes,
super
they-
fancy cheese that you bought?
Yeah.
But Was there
You
anywhere
sold all
to
of that to
buy-
me, my
From
friend.
Was there anywhere to buy some?
You want to buy
meat
some
or-
back? Ooh, the worm turns.
Was there any-
Ah, cheese business finally paying
Yeah,
up.
but he's giving the money to Sire because you outsourced your money holding.
That's true.
Rolls
Just keep track of it, Sire.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
ledger.
yeah.
Where we
Sorry, it's just quiet, guys.
Is there anywhere in the way where we could have bought like a mead or an ale, like something to bring with us to?
We can just order it up from
Yeah.
room service.
We also.
It's at this point that you hear Thea and Gus have just been leaving the building, and at one point you sort of up in the window looking at them leave, going, ha ha ha, look at Gus dealing with all these hangers-on. And you hear one of them say, we've got a great batch of dwarven mead we recovered from the refugees. And Gus is like, no interest in that. He sort of walks away.
Dragged away.
So,
I was interested. I just want that on the record. There was registered interest there.
okay. So I'm gonna
That
walk up
actually
to this
sounds
guy.
pretty good.
Okay, so you guys come downstairs, and the guy's like, looks at his friends like, oh, no luck tonight. Maybe the kids will have better luck chasing them off down the alley. Fuck, oh, tonight's a bloody blowout. How are we gonna get a meal ticket now? And
Sorry, did you say dwarven mead?
Yes, my lord. Of course. Finest quality dwarven mead. Absolutely. You're a friend of good old Glory Gus, aren't you?
I am a friend of
Glory
Gus's.
Gus.
So, just a question: would I be able to distinguish good mead from bad? Like, has Peter told me about the best mead places in town, or am I just totally working in the dark here?
Give me I don't know, what do we even roll for that? I don't know. Give me
It's like
a...
memory. Do I
History.
remember this?
History is basically the catch-all for memory.
Okay. Oh no, that's the wrong dice. This one.
Need praise.
There isn't an
15.
appraise skill anymore.
Do I recall him mentioning anything about it?
Yeah, some qualities. It should be heady, so the smell itself should make you feel tipsy.
Okay.
It should be sweet and warm, like butter going down your throat. A bunch of bits and pieces. That
Okay.
Some hallmarks give you
So-
at least a field guide.
Okay. So where is this dwarven meat?
Oh, we have a friend who managed to secure it. They've got it tucked away just closer to the riverside. Unfortunately, our accommodations don't afford much, but he runs a wagon just down to the south of it. Just a few blocks, if you
Just a
care
few
to come
blocks.
with us.
We're
What do you
interested.
think, yeah?
He remembers us. We used to go down there with old Glory plenty of times.
Well, yes, we'd be happy to. We're looking just for a few takeaways.
Well, if you've got the same kind of coin that old Glory does, then we'll be able to
I'm
sort you
gonna-
out, no worries.
Eye these guys up. Are these basically just shysters, or are they actual criminals?
Give me an insight roll with advantage.
$15.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Good to know going in.
Okay.
All right,
Let's
so
take a walk a few blocks to see the quality of this mead.
So the man who's about middle-aged and he's got like a lot of stubble, bits and pieces here and there where he's tried to shave his beard off with what looks like a blunt blade. His clothes seem mostly ragtag and worn down, but he's wearing some very shiny new boots and a very nice-looking hat with a big feather in it.
Nice.
Turned down. Seems to know his way about the town, and but feels a little out of place up here. He's like someone that you would expect to see in the southern city, I guess, but now you're seeing him up here because I guess a lot of people from the southern city are up here. He takes you down a couple of streets and then says, it's just down there, don't mind, it's just down this small side street. When he said a small side street, this is, again, not like the southern city. A small side street is wide enough for two carriages to pass each other quite comfortably. But you see down in the middle of the street, it looks like a few of the buildings have been taken out at some point by some large trebuchet boulders that have just like smashed it up. And instead of rebuilding or doing anything significant to it, a whole bunch of refugees and other people have just moved in and taken over. You see about 6 wagons kind of just haphazardly moved in, and the whole shelter, like a building that's cleft straight down the middle on the various levels, seems to be divided up into temporary accommodations for these people. It kind of kind of like little tent city sort of thing. He goes, "He's just in there." All kinds of young people and ne'er-do-wells are hanging out. But then there's also like a little pie shop on the side where somebody's made a makeshift oven in what's left of the kitchen and is serving up food with whatever they can put in it to everybody.
Nice.
So he's in the...
It looks above board.
Look, come on in. Let's come and sit in the pie shop for a while. You guys can keep yourself entertained, and I'll bring the man out to meet you.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Thank you very much for helping us.
Oh, you're welcome. You won't regret it. It's a good night we'll have tonight. Tell you what.
Give me your wallet to keep safe.
Did you say that out loud?
Quietly.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thea, why didn't we go drinking?
Elf Daddy.
How have they managed to get going drinking into their evening? I thought they were going to talk to the law masters of the tunnels. No, they're going down a back alley and drink all they need.
Yeah, you just had to sit there drooling in an alley for an hour instead.
Looking at some orcs.
The worst.
Sorry.
So meanwhile,
choices have taken
you move into the pie shop. It's crowded with a whole bunch of people. Some of these pies look a bit questionable, but people are pretty happy to be having something that seems to have a little bit of love put in the preparation. A lot of other people are simply just eating whatever slop is on the table put before them. It's cheap, it's easy, some rough tack, some bread, bits and pieces. But it seems like there is a lot of commerce here. Goods are trading. There's a lot of people with nicer things than they should have. It's like this is a den where people have just been trading all of the goods that have been looted from the southern city. So while they might be poor in food, if they were in any other environment, they'd actually be quite rich when it came to the produce or the things they managed to extract from the southern city.
Cool.
It's amazing the amount of wealth that a city will gather. It's amazing the amount of wealth a city will gather in a few thousand years of existence. It all just condenses. So you sit down, and a young serving lady comes over and says, "I want a couple of pies or some slop."
Pies sound great out of those two.
Oh, excellent. A beverage as well?
Love it.
I'll get you a beverage. Yeah, thank you. And he goes back and says, "You're always cash first.
Joe? What are we looking at?
For you or silver?"
Oh, you're...
All right. Just 3 copper, come on.
I'll flick a 6.
All right. Excellent. Goes off, and in short order, you are delivered with a plate of 6 small pies and a couple of mugs of whatever is going. You take a sniff of it. It seems like some kind of barley wine of some description. Actually, normally a bit more expensive, but seems like it's all they've got.
Beggars can't be choosers. All right.
I am not touching the food, and I am waiting for... We can make some polite conversation.
We totally can while we wait for this
How's it going?
mead merchant.
It's an exciting adventure we're on.
This is fantastic. We haven't had time to
Hang out.
just get to know each other.
I know.
You, a paragon of the law, and me,
I
a
really
respectable...
appreciate you teaching me all about the etiquette. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been taken to it like a duck to water.
And also looking after my wallet for me. So lovely of you.
It's for the best.
Make a perception roll.
Oh, nice.
Right, what's that?
23.
Yeah, you keep swatting away the casual small hand. After a while, you just start looking at people, and that keeps them at bay. But eventually, a ruddy-faced human comes down. He's wearing a pretty worn leather jerkin, but he's got some nice shirt coming out underneath. It looks a bit fancy, and he's got gold and silver bracelets and big hefty rings, a large moustache, one of those alcoholics' noses with pockmarks all over it, slightly inflated. He's like, "Oh, I hear you're purveyors of fine goods." Sits down at the table.
Absolutely after some fine
Friend of
goods.
friend of old Glory Gus's, are you?
Absolutely.
He was a real aficionado. Do love his business. Your friend is. You're a friend of mine.
He's everyone's friend.
He's just popular.
Oh, he's a
I'm
great
pleased
guy,
to
great
discover
guy.
that Gus has so many friends.
He's an acquired taste, but a very solid
Acquired
one.
taste. He is the finest of drops. I tell you what, he appreciates them and always gives. He's just a giver. He is a giver. Always
Yeah,
have the best for
He's a
him.
very generous person.
Gives and gives and gives.
Yeah, I would
everything
tell you
he's
what.
got.
I was holding on to this because I knew he was going to come down and get some. He's reliable every night. He'd come and ask him for my specialties. He is.
I don't remember, but it
We
might be
are
true.
after some absolute top-notch dwarvish mead that we have.
Well,
you've got a
that's
line
what I
on.
sent my boys out to let him know. You know, and to let him know we had the good stuff.
And
It's
unfortunately-
straight out of a completely abandoned building in the southern city.
Oh, there were so many of those.
It absolutely just happened to find its way
So-
to me. The dwarves had no use for it
Could we
anymore.
have
I
a bit
can
of a
assure you.
taster to
We need to know
convince us
whether
of
we've
the
got the
quality?
good stuff.
Oh, well, of course. I happen to have a small snifter right here.
Perfect.
It puts on the table. It's like, yo, Maggie, bring us some cups, not the glass ones, not the usual. Try, no, not the wooden one. Yeah, the glass one. That's good. Yeah, it's like his fancy silk shirt, and it's like,
Perfect. There is nothing better than a glass cleaned on silk.
Yeah, pours in like a finger's worth for each of you. Go on,
Antibacterial
dig in, one
properties.
for himself.
All right.
You can smell it. As soon as he pours it out, the thick honey
Bottoms
scent
up.
starts wafting through the immediate environment.
I'm gonna have a sniff and then a very small sip because I don't know. Spirit has not drunk much. in her
Remember,
life.
so once you get in, swirl it around, give it a bit of a...
She's more used to just very weak ale. You know, that's
Uh-huh.
her. That's her. She's just drunk with barrels.
Luckily, this is in the same ballpark.
So just give me some, I don't know, wisdom rolls.
12.
17
See, you know your shit.
on this occasion.
Yeah, it's good. It's real
Good,
good.
good,
Real
good,
good.
good.
Like, amazing. Can hardly even taste the alcohol. Oh my god, it's like honeycomb. It's like he's like going to a fresh hive and getting like a hunk of. We've done this on the farm before, and getting a fresh hunk of honeycomb out, but then like
And I
mixed,
suddenly,
melted
like,
down with like
understand-
butter and.
I suddenly understand Gus's drive to drink like so much better. I'm all of a sudden like, oh, it makes sense
Gus
now.
doesn't.
It's like a toffee in your mouth, just melting down, and then the tingling. You don't even
That
taste
is
the alcohol, but you get that tingling as your hairs
delightful.
stand up on the back of your neck, and it's like, and the heady aroma stays, and the aftertaste stays, and it's just amazing.
Look, this is pretty good, and I'd be lying if I said
Pretty
we weren't interested.
good. This is the best in Bulgar's
I
brewery.
agree, it's really good. I mean, I haven't drunk much, to be honest.
We need
This is like
One.
a diamond in the fucking rough, mate.
we need a bottle for a special friend of ours. What have you got going?
Well, I don't know if you're buying for Gus, I think you wouldn't want anything less than the whole barrel. It's just a little guy, you know. I can let it go for 20 platinum.
20
Oh,
platinum. That's a bit steep for Gus. He's a
What,
giver
what are
and
you
a
talking
giver.
about? He just like lost 80% of his wealth in the last week.
But he didn't have that much money.
He doesn't know how
He
much
had
money he's
500 gold. He had more than that, I think. He lost like 100 gold.
But how?
And 20 plats is 200 gold.
How big's the barrel?
Mm.
How big's the barrel?
Like
Standard.
15 to 18 liters. It's a small barrel. Like you
Yep.
put a brandy in
Standard
or something
pony
like
keg.
that. Yeah.
20 platinum.
I sent the
5.
glasses on a
5
What?
platinum.
Are you fucking kidding me? You trying to cut off my legs?
Yeah,
I know
I'm
we're
trying to
under
cut off-
siege right now, but I've got a family to feed. He says,
Yeah.
flashing his gold teeth.
And you've got plenty of stuff
Look
to
at the
feed your
orphans.
families.
You think I'm shy? You think I'm a shyster?
you
I'm
gonna-
a benevolent man. This is the Church of the Wayward Orphan I'm running here. You want to support the kids? You'll give me at least 20 gold. I know.
20 gold
sorry.
done.
I support the
20
orphans.
platinum.
You'll give me at least 15 platinum.
15 platinum. I couldn't really go above 7.
I don't think you understand. I'm pissing blood out my asshole right now.
Hopefully not onto the mead.
Of course not. I wouldn't spoil such a great drop, but you'd be lucky to pay 10 platinum for that. And that's my final offer.
What are your kids' names?
Janks, Shanks,
Manx.
Mortuary, and Argyle.
10 it is.
Alright, man. You got yourself a deal.
I hope Jenks, Mortuary, and Argyle have a really lovely time.
Do you take letters of credit?
Also,
No,
we're
I'm
not
just
having
kidding.
these pies if you want them.
Oh, I don't mind if I do. So, oi, oh, Jenkins, get them barrel.
So, how much is that? Do you want to split?
It's 50 gold each.
It's 50 each.
No.
Yeah.
25 each.
No, 10 platinum,
Oh, no,
100
it's
gold,
100, yeah.
50 each.
Shh. What am I, an accountant?
No, I am.
And a small
Oh no, am I disconnected from you?
wooden but ornately decorated barrel
Awesome.
is delivered unto you. It seems like it's 3/4 full.
Look, under siege conditions, that's pretty decent.
He said, I swear you've made yourself a good purchase here, and this is cheap. Very cheap.
Okay.
To be honest, I think you're right.
Or you
okay.
can give me a tip if you like.
Don't go flashing so much gold around the
Oh, I'll
place.
take the pies, and then you're not drinking that, are you?
Yeah, you can have all that.
You're a good man.
Nice. And
Good luck with your very large family.
He looks around at all the various orphans in the environment.
Okay. So we've secured a barrel of extremely top-notch
Yeah.
dwarven mead
Let's go meet
and
some
some
dwarves.
nice cheese, and I shall carry the mead, and we shall go. Oh, I
Cheese?
have to
Where'd
get
the cheese
changed
come
into
from?
my
I-
costume as well.
Of course.
Oh no, I already was in it. That's right. I was
Yep.
traveling in it, and we'll go up.
Alright, so, Bernard, sorry, are you doing anything in that time? Or you guys just...
We're having the discussion about what's necessary and
You're like-
discussing whether or not the misery of the people in the town would sufficiently be
Elbow
look-
deep in the
torture
cage of
people
some-
and-
The other... Give me an investigation roll. You can both
As
make
advantage?
rolls, or you can make one with
With-
advantage.
Guidance.
So, Bernard, you make one roll with advantage as you guys both pour over the book.
one in with advantage. And with guidance as well.
Yep.
22. Oh, advantage. Yes, let's check that.
Just in case.
It's even better. 22.
One of the basics in the book, one of the first go-tos is how to trap an imp. It's a reasonably simple exercise.
Eat a box.
Yeah, no, it's you
It's a
just
stream.
need to, if you can find
And an orphan.
a body that's been deceased within 12 hours, or yeah, so a body that's been killed within 12 hours, you don't even have to kill it, but and
It doesn't hurt.
then you can, if you open it up and make a simple circle and then stab the heart, because the soul's typically still in the body within that period of time, then you can summon an imp to that location, and you can...
Can I then use Find Familiar to turn it into my familiar?
You want
And then I'll sacrifice my own familiar, because that's hardcore. You get that.
So this is a way to make an additional servant. So it's a small demonic servant. You'll take the heart, you'll stab the heart to summon it, because the soul will be in pain, and that will bring the attention of the imp. And then once
Put it
you
down on your hand.
and then you'll
Carving it into your own
use
leg.
the heart and your persuasion to
Oh,
convince
no.
the imp to reveal their true name and to give up one of their limbs. It advises you not to take its wings, because its ability to fly is one of its most valuable assets. And then that becomes a beholden entity to you. And imps, they can turn invisible, and they can travel around, and they can find out information for you. More to the point, they can give you very current information to do with the politics of the Nine Hells.
Once we have it bound, so the next step after we bind the imp, we have to. What were the other steps we have to?
Take the heart, stab the heart, hold the heart.
Yeah. Once we bind the imp, we then had to.
You have to bargain with the imp to convince you. Basically, you're exchanging the soul of the murdered person.
Sorry, no. After let's assume we do all that.
Yep.
torture humans. Torture humans
We need
until they beg
the
for
tortured
death.
humans, and then we need to open
Oh, you want
You
the
need to
nightmare? I thought you were just
sacrifice
talking
the
about
So once you have the imp, because you
Thought you were
sacrifice
just
the
dabbling.
imp,
That steps all the way through.
you have to
but
you have to
lock it in
know
the
the
imp now.
name.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
name
Okay,
and
so we
location
can
of
just
the thing,
we can
and
work
then
on the imp
sacrifice the
now.
imp and also have.
The imp is the first step,
Yeah.
always, because the imp is the eyes and ears in both planes.
Right. Okay.
So you can find out more information about what's what in the other plane, because the imp is then beholden to you as soon as it's lit.
including things like where maybe a nightmare might be located and what's. In
There's
what's
so
in-
many upsides here.
Right, we're not leaving you
There
guys
are so
without a
many upsides
babysitter in
to
future.
just-
None of you are here.
This is an important discussion that Sari and I are having, a moral quandary that we need to resolve.
I don't
doesn't
think there's
sound
any
like you're having
morals
a
in it for
quandary.
you. That's just how much effort is required.
You guys are
That's all
not
there is.
fair.
Morality? What the hell? I don't think
So,
he knows what the word means.
we-
Shush you. These guys are having an important discussion.
Sorry.
all
had your time.
I'm hearing from what you're telling me, Bernard, is that we don't even need to kill anyone.
No.
And then
No torture, no killing. They can't have any problems with that. All we're doing is consorting with it. Devil.
Interdimensional refugee.
But it's that's right. But it's also specifically on this thing. There's a war going on in these planes. This is relevant. This is real information. I can't actually, for the life of me, think of any technical, practical reason why we wouldn't do it.
me neither. Let's do it.
Okay, so you're gonna go, well, these guys are doing their various business. The two of you go out into the street
for
to try
corpses.
and find a corpse. Alright. Where do you go? You just gonna wander
We
around?
thought, no, because I'm a healer.
I'm the Archmage, right? We can go to the pile where they're burning the bodies and just do something there, right?
Yeah. And also we can just go. Like most people are likely
Oh,
to
the
die around where people are getting healed,
Getting
right?
healed, and we've missed them. It's too late. And then we just chop them open
Yeah.
and get the
What?
demonic.
There's probably a ton of them right outside where I hang out. Because they're all waiting for healing.
You've even brought a pillow to just hold over their face to help them cross over the boundary.
Feel
So
the pain.
you guys, you go. So you know several places. So outside of the Temple of Bahamut, outside of
Let's stay away from that.
outside of the entrance into the Undercity is where most activities. So because the Undercity, that's where a lot of the conflict is happening. Troops are being sent back and forth.
Mhm.
So
Let's do that outside the entry of the Undercity.
Well, that's where we're going to, right? Because
that's where you are heading to next. Yes,
But we're
that's all right. You guys. So
we won't cross paths.
give me a sync roll, guys. So
well, and also you just like, I'm just healing
one
people.
one of the two. So you
One.
roll and
6.
nope. Alright, so you're wandering around. You arrive
Mhm.
at the. You arrive at the encampment, as it were. That's pretty much what it looks like, with all the campfires and the tents, and then there's the healing tent off to the side. Now, out the back of the healing tent, you know that that's usually where they keep the recently deceased before moving them on to larger places.
Great. I'm gonna talk to whoever I can and just say, look, I'm here to help purify the dead before so disease doesn't spread.
Okay, so as you approach, and you see there's just a single guard sort of standing outside, sleepily looking there. He sort of looks up, sees your medallion for Salune around your neck, and is like, "Oh, evening, cleric," and an archmage. Oh. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I hadn't seen you since the fight. You give me a wisdom perception roll.
That's pretty good. A 19 on the die.
Yeah, you recognize this as one of the people from the tavern. The Axe's Embrace from the southern city.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And you're here with your cleric. Look, there's a few people who definitely could do with some healing, but I tell you what, if you could spare the time, there's a new offensive mustering for tomorrow morning. We're hoping to retake some of the underground chambers that have been collapsed by orcs. If you're interested in giving us a hand, you know, it would be a great moral support. A lot of the boys have heard about you.
I walk up to him and I say, listen. Chet, right?
No, it's Barry, but...
Oh, Barry, of course. I'm sorry. Barry. I would love to help you out, because fighting alongside the Axes down in the South City was one of my finest moments as Archmage. But, unfortunately, I've been pulled into something that requires my attention. So that's kind of why we're here.
Oh, look, serious business. I understand. Like an archmage like you has obviously really important
Just
things
remember
to do. You must
that-
have a lot of important people trying to.
I'm standing beside you, in principle. In theory.
Give me a persuasion roll.
But not in practice.
In theory, but not in practice.
Guidance.
What is that?
That's a 4.
That's a 4.
Guidance.
But of course I jest, it's a 6.
Well, he seems a bit confused. He's like, I don't really think it's that funny. Sorry.
No, it's not funny. It's just.
I had a lot of friends that died. You know, you might have noticed, but like, there's not as many of us as there were before. I'm glad you helped us out.
Oh, you think I'm an
before,
idiot? I noticed. I'm just trying to make light of the situation. I mean, I was behind orc lines.
Make a
This
deception
is a
roll.
serious thing. I was behind orc lines. I was kept as a slave for orcs for 8 months.
Just flinging that
12.
shit around.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Look,
No,
business-
it's a
what can
stressful
I do
time.
for you? What can
I'm
I
sorry.
do for you?
It's a stressful time. Look, we're just here to help out. We've got some things that we need to check in the tent. We're looking for a particular deceased person, unfortunately.
Very well. Look, help yourself. I think there's a couple of novices in there from the Temple of Maliki, just helping out where they can.
Look, we're all under stress. I'd like to apologise. Archmage to champion. You know, you're doing.
Oh,
you're
thanks.
doing the
You
good
say
thing.
champion, and his like eyes light up. He's like, yeah, I am a champion.
I'm sorry. It's a lot of stress going on.
Down on me for
I
not
misspoke.
feeling
Yeah, you go in, check it out, and look, any help that you can give it be greatly appreciated.
Anything.
Just see the novices in there. They'll point out the ones who need it most.
Great. So I'll help with the healer heals. You go out back and studs. Should we get 2 imps?
bulk discount. Find a person
Well,
with 2
why
hearts.
not?
Yeah. Alright, we'll get an imp each.
Why not raise an army of imps from the dead and then use them to attack the oncoming horde?
Gus gets it. He's
So,
coming through. He's coming around.
in the meanwhile, Spear and Peral, you arrive at the entrance to the underground chamber,
Okay, fantastic.
or the underground markets, which has been turned into a major thoroughfare.
We're here to see Goldbeard.
So who do you approach? You walk through. So there are various encampments around the place,
Yep.
and then there's a few guards on the actual entrance itself.
Okay, cool. We'll go to the guards on the entrance.
There you go. Oh, sorry, sir. This is restricted area down there. It's kind of a bit dangerous. Dwarves only.
I'll speak to them in Dwarvish.
Okay.
We're friends of Goldbeard. We have business with him tonight.
No persuasion roll.
Pat the thing.
With advantage, because are you showing your colors, Spear?
Yeah.
Okay, with advantage.
Oh, nice. I'll take that. Clean 23.
Oh, very well.
Natural 20.
We'll send. I'll just go and see if we can find him. So one of the guards goes down the stairs, and then comes back in a minute. He goes, says, just send a runner. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully he'll be here soon. If you guys just want to wait over by that fireside, points to a fire where there's like a few other soldiers. Some of them just coming back into consciousness from their rest. Look like they're arming up and getting ready to go back under.
Okay, cool.
Let's have a sit near the fire.
Yeah. Shoot the
keep
shit
that
with some of these guys.
Mead safe. I mean, we're both familiar with. Well, I'm very familiar with camping with soldiers, so I'm probably pretty comfortable.
Yeah, that's
Like,
totally
friendly
fine.
with
You
people
make
and-
some
yeah.
brief and friendly banter. They seem like a little wary. They say, "Oh, we're just on night patrol. We're just going in to, check it out and make sure that no other orcs are going to be coming through. We're going to relieve another squad that's actually quite deep."
How many tunnels got lost?
Look, they've come in. They've taken the first 2 layers in most parts, but we're still holding pretty fast. It's just those earth shapers. They just keep breaking apart the stone and moving down. Moving down is easier for them than moving across. So in some places they've gone deep, but we have to keep cordons on about 5 levels at the same time, which just makes it very difficult.
Have you been able to specifically target the Earth Shapers?
Well, the problem is they standing behind the lines doing the earth shaping, and then the troops run through, so we have to fight our way through a line of troops to even get to those earth shapers. If we had people above ground or eyes from the air, then it would be a completely different story. But that would mean, obviously, bombarding our own installations, our own southern city from this side. They're turning it into their own fortification over there. It's basically like fighting two cities side by side. It really is a hard spot to be in. Some of us are advocating for torching the whole of the southern city just to deny them the territory. But, yeah.
No, you should keep fighting.
Has anybody been able to get a solid count on how many Earthshapers there even are?
Look,
There can't
I
be
don't know.
that many.
I really don't know. Look, I'm just a frontline trooper, you know. I was drafted in. My father was a banker until we lost our business. Now I'm here doing my bit because that's what we need to do.
The economy has been hard, I understand.
Sometimes you have to retreat, but you fight until you have to retreat.
At which point your conversation is going, they say, we're going to head off, and then as they leave, you catch the familiar sight of Goldbeard. His shiny yellow locks, braided beard either side, his helmet held under one side, several axes slung into his belt. He's got a couple of dwarves in tow.
Just do something. You're a religious person.
He's up, sees the two of you, and goes, "Oh, Lord Wentworth." And then nods to you. I heard someone was looking for me, and I guess it's you.
Yes, I wanted to have a chat.
Well, I've got a minute. You're lucky, it's been pretty hard up, but we're all on break at the moment. I was just about to take some nap, but I've always got a bit of time for you. The Lore Masters have settled in well. We really appreciate the work that you did just getting them to us. And things seem to have calmed down with the humans. There's still a bit of ambient tension going on, but, you know, we're all in it for the greater good at this point.
Yes, and we appreciate your dedication to the greater good and helping us shepherd the refugees that we can through these tunnels.
Right, yeah. What can we do for you?
We have a delicate bit of business.
Certainly.
There's something very important we have to do. And it requires us to get out of this city.
Okay, pause. So, Bernard and Saya in the medical tent. You walk in, you see a couple of novices moving around. Sort of like, oh, Your Grace.
Hello, I'm here to help the wounded.
Oh, yes, there are definitely some. You're rested and ready to... fully charged
Yes,
for the day?
yes, fully charged, ready to go.
Great, well, let me show you the ones who are in most need of healing.
Great. Before I do though, I am quite worried. How is your hygiene? How are your hygiene practices going?
Well, we do all of the rituals that are required to keep away the demons. And
do they have enough holes?
Do I know if those rituals are location based or body based?
Make a medicine roll. And then make a religion roll.
So for medicine, that is...
It's wisdom based at least.
Yes, it is wisdom based. So that is 15. And then for religion, 12.
You should really be better at that.
Shut up!
They follow two religions.
Yeah, they...
But hold on. Can I cast guidance? I can cast guidance on myself.
Can you?
Yes, I can. I looked it up.
Come on, sorry, you know this.
So the first one goes to 18, and the second one goes to 13.
Yeah, they're just doing what they're told. They're low-level novices. They don't seem to have any power flowing through them at this point. They're just taking care of the patients, the sick, the dying, and doing the best they can, and saying the basic litanies in the hope that one day, through repetition, they will finally break through that barrier and be in touch with their gods. But right now, they're just who they are.
Cool.
Okay.
We need to discuss the sensitive matter because I will need to be alone and possibly have to burn.
Yeah, so Bernard, I have my friend here, the Archmage. He is very practiced in the disposal of the dead.
We normally have a corpse cart that comes around and then we take them to another
Are
location.
you questioning,
There's something
how long have you been practicing for?
Okay, you're going to intimidate him? Make an intimidation roll.
Does she get an advantage because they are?
3.
Well, we were all called up pretty quickly. I mean, you know, we're just trying to do our bit here.
No, of course,
I mean,
of course.
I
apologize.
You've been up all night.
The war takes it out on most of us.
Slap him.
I walk up and I hold his hand.
Do what you need to do.
Alright. You go.
He crawls away. The other novice comes up, looks at him, goes, "What did you say to him?"
I'm sorry. The war takes the stress out of all of us. Bernard, if you could please attend to the normal practices. Can you take me to your most wounded?
Certainly. Would you need the surgery room?
Yes, please.
Certainly. Well, we'll just bring them into you.
Great.
Just if you want to clean yourself up and prepare, they point to a little curtained off area in the corner.
Is this you starting the torturing process?
There's no torturing.
Emotional.
Like you start with the emotional torture of someone under a certain situation, slowly working the physical torture.
It's a long
pop out
process.
the nightmare.
Okay, so you go in and prepare for surgery.
So,
They bring you people who have got mangled limbs. Because normally you just do magical healing on people, but if you do that without setting their broken limbs, it's just going to get all manky and fucked up.
I'm proficient in medicine. Yeah, I can do surgery.
So you need to use the
magical.
cross between medicine and magic.
Cool.
Magicine.
So meanwhile, Bernard,
I love it.
what are you doing? They show you to the. He says the corpse pile is just out the back through that door. If you wish to inspect our
Gonna need
hygiene,
some time alone.
It's not a question of inspecting the hygiene. This is a matter of magical importance that I, without wishing to be too pompous about it, is kind of outside your pay grade, and there's reasons why I can't actually tell you about
make
what's
a
going
persuasion roll.
Do you have any freshly deceased children?
on account of the it's like 19.
Okay. Of course, I'm really sorry. Yes, just this way. And he shows you to the corpse pile. So they bring you in a few patients. You're going to treat them as normal.
Yes.
The first one passes.
The first one, great.
Are you going to remember to stabilize them?
You are... So you're outside, you look at a pile of corpses.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and do this discreetly.
Told the dead.
So what I mean is I'm going to actually cast Rope Trick. I'm going to take the selected corpse into the Rope Trick to do the thing.
Into the rope trick?
A rope trick.
Oh,
yeah,
into
to
the extra-dimensional
create a
space.
Extra-dimensional space that just floats up there.
Oh, okay, so
Climb
you
up.
go with
Visible.
the corpse into the extra dimensional
and
space.
then I got time so no one walking into the room can see what's going on.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just imagining how you pull this off, and in my mind, you can't. The rope goes up. You get a little thing, you're like, okay, and you tie the rope around the corpse,
body.
then climb up the rope
and
yourself, and you're like,
That's exactly what's happening.
Okay, so...
By the neck.
by the neck.
And also, because I know that nightmares like children, I'm selecting a child.
Not just because it's
Not just because it's easier to live, but because I think
You
it's
need to
actually
buy a blockade
steal.
panel.
You want to
Alright.
I'm
kid
not a
that's-
human, I'm a halfling.
Yeah.
So I would like the
Lucky
two of
you.
you each to...
So glad
Because
I'm
you're
not
both
there.
now doing the ritual on your own.
Arcana
Yes?
check.
Yeah.
You'll be great at this.
Only if someone dies on me.
Oh, you're going to do
Someone
it
died
too?
on you. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, if someone dies on me, I'm
Well, the
going to do
first
it.
patient
What are the odds
doesn't
of that
make it.
happening?
Yeah,
They're-
so...
They die
I'm
of
gonna-
shock from the operation.
Oh, they die of shock. Okay.
Yeah, well, you're trying to
That's
I mean,
operate to
you
fix the leg.
could use spare the dying at this point.
No, I've been using Spare the Dying. It didn't work. Shut up.
Oh, it's
Are you just standing there shouting,
Shut
"Spare
up,
the dying"?
Pretty much.
Oh.
But if I lose my first patient, yeah, I'm going to stab it. So what do I need to roll?
Well, you have to open the chest cavity.
Strength test.
Oh.
That was
No,
that's
it's fine.
No, cool.
You just got
broken
medicine. Just
legs,
make a
but it's
medicine roll.
surgery. I just can't seem to get them working again.
Oh, that's quite good. 20.
Jeez.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, it doesn't take much. You just like break open the ribcage.
You're
and
welcome.
It's right there. Grab it out. Bernard, you have a corpse.
Yeah. I think I need... I'm going to have a go, because, sure, medicine check, where the heart is. Everyone knows where that is, right?
Great, make a medicine roll.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Cool.
Right in the middle of the chest. Yeah,
What'd you get?
16 on the die. 15 on the die.
And how are you going to get to it?
making an incision with the dagger.
Okay.
And then I'm going to score the edges of the rib cage and then crack it with my elbow.
Make a medicine roll. Make another medicine roll.
Another medicine roll. That's a 17 on the die.
Jeez.
Oh, the little halfling hands. I'm like, hey, I'm built for this, I say, rolled up sleeve.
Alright.
I'm covered in gore, but madam...
Alright, so you both reach in and pull out your hearts.
They've both removed a heart or two in their time.
And then you both pull out your daggers.
Yeah.
And you stab the heart.
Not too deep.
I just wanted to really clarify this because I was overhearing the ritual earlier, and what they are doing is, instead of this soul going to where they're meant to go, they're actually arresting the soul, bartering it, and sending it to hell for an imp. Okay, cool. Just making sure we were really getting
less sending it to the hell. They're feeding it to the imp.
They're feeding it. Oh, they're not sending it to hell. They're feeding it to the imp.
By causing it pain. They're attracting the imp.
Okay, so you stab it and you utter a phrase. So I need you both to now make Arcana rolls.
Not my strong suit.
Neither mine.
Is that your tongue suit?
To correctly remember the ritual.
17.
I am in theory wizard, yes.
Like
I
you're
do
a
not have
natural.
proficiency.
Well, you rolled 19,
I
so you're
rolled
fine.
19. Yeah, no,
Okay, you both
You've been rolling
correctly
very
remember the
well.
ritual.
This
First
is
time
my
you're a little
wheelhouse.
nervous, first time casting. And you speak. You know at this point that you've done it correctly. There should be an imp, likely invisible, in your environment, and now you don't know where it is. Oh wait, do you have the circular on?
I do have the circlet on.
You see the imp straight away. Is it? Sorry, do you need to activate it?
I do need to activate it,
Okay,
but
do
if
you
I know
wish
it's
to
there, then I'll use it to see invisible.
Okay. And you hear fluttering of little wings, and you cast the invisible, and you can now see the imp. It's a small purple critter. It's hunched over, long gangly penis just kind of hanging down between its legs as it sort of sits on the end of the corpse, just on its knees, looking hungrily at the chest, at the heart that you have the dagger in. And you've heard it. You're not sure where it is, but you're holding the dagger. And now comes the part of the ritual where you are to convince the imp to tell you its true name and exchange one of its limbs for the soul that you now hold in your hand.
I am sorry, you are.
So, Bernard.
I am Bernard Witchking Archmage. I offer you an invitation to be a part of the greatest battle of planar history ever, yielding the Blood Wars version 2. Come on board, tell me your name, give me your left arm, become my right hand, and together we shall see this through.
Make a persuasion roll.
That's a good argument.
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah.
But I am, of course, lucky.
Just saying, after that, if that imp doesn't take it, I'll chip in. That sounds good.
I've got a portent, but I've only got
Dodgy ones.
I've got 3 that I can give it as a saving throw.
Nice, yeah.
But, yeah, I will use my lucky in this
When it
particular
makes a
instance.
roll to resist
Oh,
halfling.
that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's an 18 on the die. That was a persuasion roll.
Arcana?
Persuasion
Plus
plus 1.
two.
Oh, it's Arcana is
No, it's
plus 2.
persuasion.
Look, you've got yourself an intern.
And what limb are you asking for?
I want his right arm so
Left.
that he can be my his left arm, so I can be my he'll be my right hand.
He's like, yeah. It's like hungrily reaching for
Name an
space.
arm. Name an arm first.
Give it to me. I hunger. I hunger. Give it to me. And then I will give you my arm.
Oh no, I've run this scam before.
He starts his hands and his
Archmage,
face start
Bernard Witch
appearing.
Kick, not your bitch, no misunderstanding. Give me the arm and your name now, or you can fuck right off.
Starts twisting its peanuts as knots in frustration.
we can make it your dick if you want to keep the arm.
Alright.
just like rips his left arm.
Here, I am Is-it Kix, and I will help you.
Is it Kix? Welcome to the team.
And he is a red imp with a black bar across his face.
Sweet!
Those are rarer than normal imps.
Spear disapproves, but Tash approves.
I am pro. Simon is pro. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Gus is very judgmental. Let's not go out of character.
It was all fun and games until you sacrificed a kid's soul.
Well, Gus just is like, yes, I was right. Everyone's awful.
So the imp just
surprised face.
I look directly into the imp's face.
It's suddenly taken aback as it realizes that you can see it.
And I go, I'm Saya Lucine, stealer of truth, seeker of stars, and servant of Shah. If you come with me, I would trade you one of your limbs and your name for your bond, and I promise you that together we shall seek power and glory in a quest that is bigger than both of us.
Persuasion.
You can do it.
Oh, did you
Oh, that hurts.
Did you roll
splashy
a one?
splashy?
Got guidance.
I don't know if guidance is gonna help.
I don't know how far you'll get us when you exclaim your worship of Shah to all who can hear you. The dead and the dying are kept awake through their pain and listen to you even now. How long do you think you'll survive in this city when you disclaim your deepest secrets through a thin veil of canvas? Maybe the novice heard you as well. Why don't you just give me the heart and I will pluck out all of their eyes and ears, or at least rip out all of their tongues to hold their secrecy in exchange for your terrible folly.
At this point, I want to. I'm wearing. Because I'm not wearing my armor at the moment. I've been wearing common clothes.
Yeah.
I rip where my scarring goes down.
Yeah.
I rip my scarring and I take my dagger and I pour it into the side of my I push it into the side of me.
You do a deep laceration.
Yeah, like a deep laceration. And I come really close to it and I whisper, do not take me for some naive girl. You have no idea of the powers that I am currently playing with. Join me, or you can just fuck right off.
Intimidation or persuasion? What are you trying to do? It sounds like intimidation.
Which I'm not good at either. Nah, fuck it. I don't wait. That would be 7.
Oh no. That was a series of very bad
Fate scumbers round and goes and starts to, let me sup. As it crawls up to your flank and goes to want to lick. He wants to lick from your open wound and drink your blood.
How easy is this thing to kill?
You have no idea.
That would have been good to try out.
Grab it and Zangief it
Because
between
even
the
if-
legs and then just jump on its head.
Just
Put
grab
in
it by
its
the legs
place.
and give it.
I'm gonna invite it to eat, and then when it's there, I'm gonna try to slit its throat.
Okay.
It's all gone a bit south.
Make deception.
You're very south. Perception?
Deception.
Deception. Deception.
Now that's something I can do.
Well, at least better than the others. That is a
It's getting there.
14.
You lull it into a false sense of security as it begins to sop of your pain and torment. It seems to make it very excited, and you see it's going in, and then you grab it. Make an attack roll.
Present it with a bill for services.
Grab it
that
by
has
the
to sign
dick.
with its proper name.
Cut it off and pick the medicine.
That would.
Are you just trying to grapple it?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Grappling is athletics, which I don't have, but I'm actually.
Luckily, it's based on strength.
Fuck. 15.
Cool.
Just so
Yeah, you grab it.
It's more childlike.
You've
isn't
got
it?
it.
It's like
Small.
very
And you've
human.
got it by the neck.
No,
please.
And then I cut off its dick.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep, so you've got its penis.
Yep.
Plenty more
And I go, give me your name, fiend.
Give me a intimidation.
At advantage,
At
because I
advantage,
just.
yeah, absolutely.
Come on.
Roll.
Oh!
Have you thought about testing your dice?
Oh.
10.
About whether this is the right thing to be doing.
Like I need to see this.
So
I can report
it's
this.
gonna make a saving throw.
Have you thought about maybe that Salune can see everything
Okay,
you're doing and
rolls
she
a
doesn't
15.
approve?
Rolls a 15.
On a saving throw, yeah.
Alright.
Do you have influence over that?
I could have changed this entire thing if we were in line of
Side
sight.
to
Oh,
side.
yeah.
You haven't seen shit.
Yeah, you're in it. You're in your own interdimensional.
Yours
place right now.
At some point, I'm in my little bubble and I've done the thing, and I'm like,
Okay,
all right,
so
buddy.
you climb back down.
Yeah.
No, let go. I cast a
So
bonfire
well.
on
I
the
didn't use-
remains
I-
of the body
Oh, I did
Yep.
use it.
in the rope trick,
And then leave.
and then leave. And at a point in
So
an
in the
hour,
middle of a conversation,
Ash
you
is just
have to
gonna
stop, obviously cast a spell.
trickle down.
Yeah.
Cool. And you you come down. You're covered in blood, by the
It
way.
does work on
I will Madame Numas myself clean.
finishing.
That only works on the outside.
And you come back
You
out
can't
into
clean away
the.
what you did.
You come back out into the medical hall. You see like several people are sitting upright, patients. They're sort of looking at each other, and one of the novices is like, "What's going on?" And you hear this and
Got the
voices coming from the other side of the surgical screen.
And I'll run in.
Like, what's happening? We heard blasphemous cries coming from the room.
It's alright, you won't hear blasphemous for much longer.
No, they're talking about you.
Oh, I know.
We are on a mission to root up some dark evil from this place. Close your ears and steal your mind. I will go in. The Archmage is here.
Deception, please.
To be fair, they did come here to root up some
We did
evil.
try. I said root up, not root out. So
It's well and truly been rooted up.
that is a 7 on the die. What am I doing? A perception? Deception?
Persuade, deception.
That's an 8.
Okay. You're not sure if he believes you, but
Oh, I know he does because I'm using my number 3 portent on him.
Okay.
On his insight.
We can just like
Oh.
take
okay,
horses with
yeah.
us and
He's like,
keep
oh,
trying.
okay. Oh, no, keep calm, everybody. They're conducting an exorcism. And you rush in,
And I
and you
must
see
assist.
Saya has half her outfit torn open, a wound in her side. She's holding the dick of a demon, and
See the demon. Oh, can he see the demon now he has it in it?
it's
I can see the
manifest.
dick.
Oh, it's manifest.
It's no longer part of the
she is looking at it, and you come into the room.
Bennett!
Thanks some god
This
or
was
another
all your
you're
idea!
here.
I might have fucked up.
Everything's great.
I rolled 2.
It's
Who could have seen this?
It's finding it hard to talk. It's like scratching at your hand. It does like 3 points of damage to you.
That's fine.
It doesn't have even remotely the strength to be able to try and escape your grasp, but it's just like cutting at your fingers. Your fingers are bleeding down the side.
What's your name?
I step up to the thing and I'm looking at the thing. I'm quite quiet. I go,
At this point,
can I help?
Paral and Spear,
Yeah.
you're talking to Goldbeard, and you guys hear noise coming from the medical team. What's that? What's going on? I've heard people crying, but not like that before. Maybe we should check it out. You guys don't mind?
I don't know, we just started a very serious
No.
conversation here.
Look, if you can give us 10 minutes afterwards, we'll help you out right now.
Of course. No, let's go. Look, it might be nothing, but
You've gone full.
it sounds strange to me.
They're two villains now. In the fight.
Fuck, it does.
You guys can make perception rolls.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, that's-
Not very good. 10.
12.
Yeah, no, it's just some strange cries, like some weird, strained vocal cords. Either a child or a cat being strangled, something like that's what it sounds like.
Oh no.
And Bernard,
Take care of the novices. I have an idea. And then I want to take the knife, and I want to take a bucket of water, and I want to take Spare the Dying. And I essentially want to torture the shit out of this imp.
great. There is a bucket of water already there
Great,
by the side where you normally wash your hands.
great.
The drowning begin.
Somebody's drowning a cat.
So give me another intimidation roll with advantage because you're torturing this thing.
That's the spirit.
Hedge your bets.
That would be 15. 16.
Your soul will eventually be. Alright, take my dick. I am Arthur.
After the dickless.
So you've already taken one of his limbs, it seems.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, for all that, you got a more useful one than Bernard did.
It's fully featured and spayed.
Define useful.
So you won't end up with.
Well, I guess if there was someone of your size.
Look, if you could get a breeding pair at this
Alright.
point.
At this point, like you look back out behind you, you put your hand through the curtain, and you see Peril and Spear and Goldbeard sort of like burst in, and
Burst in.
well, they burst in through. Well,
We
you
kick that tent flaps.
they kick the flaps right open, and they all look in, and he's, "What's going on here?" Looking at the novice, and the novice turns around and is like, "Oh, there's some kind of exorcism going on. There's an evil inherent in this camp." He's like, sees you, and is, "Archmage, is this true?"
This is true, but we have it in hand, I suspect, although there may be a little bit more disturbance for possibly another 30 seconds tops. Highly magical! Leave it to the experts! Archmage out, and I back slowly and close the curtains.
So, this is highly irregular. What happened here? I don't know. They took one of the wounded in, and he hasn't come back out. But they were talking about some kind of evil that was present here. So
We have been pursuing evil that has been insidiously rampant. I assume it's something to do with that.
Yes, absolutely. They would only be doing the best they could for this patient. I trust our archmage.
awesome. Well, just give me a persuasion roll, an honest persuasion roll,
Like,
guys.
she would believe that.
I know.
Yeah.
16.
Not so good. 6. Even though she believes.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Well,
Heat now.
I'm sure they won't be too much longer.
Look, probably not. It sounded like the Archmage has things in hand, even if his assistant is a little bit off. But that's
Jerry, go
not
stand on the
unusual.
door. You guys, you wanted to talk to me. Let's go back. Jerry, just stay by the operating theater just in case something gets out of hand. We'll stay close just in case. All right, you had something to say. You guys leave. And I imagine, Saya, you were going to close up and
Yep.
tidy the scene.
Yep. And tell that imp to go invisible.
So, with regard to the imps, unless you call them by their name,
Yeah.
in which they'll just appear straight to your location, much like a familiar, they'll just disappear and be off on this plane or their own plane, doing what they will.
Doing impy things.
Essentially.
Going in shows.
So you've basically given them access to this plane to torment whoever they want. That's the work.
Well, they could come here every time somebody stabbed a heart, which has got to come up a fair bit, right?
Well, if it's
Well,
a
I've stabbed a
recently
few, I've
dead
gotta say.
body.
Yeah.
So they
And
have a
you've gotta say
certain
the
amount of
incantation.
time that they can exist in this plane without you willing them to be here, essentially.
Easy.
But if you sort of leave them be,
Didn't
either they'll go
sound easy.
straight back to their own plane, or they'll just hang out for as long as they can, or they'll hang out before their will runs out and they get sent home, or they'll just try and stay near you. so they might always just be lurking in your immediate vicinity.
Alright.
In
You
order
can
to
just
stay
smite
longer.
evil that shit.
Probably
right?
just hanging out spying on us to figure out how to fuck us up.
How long does my scene visible
Yes,
last?
that is exactly what they're doing. In the long term, they're trying to figure out how to eat your souls, which is ultimately what they want to do.
To
This is a
everyone,
part of the
because they're
game.
demons.
Well, your souls will be particularly tasty because the idea of consuming the soul of someone who was once their master is the most delicious concept for them. You close up. Meanwhile, conversation.
So as I was saying, we're looking to leave the city because we have a very important thing we need to do.
A lot of people are looking to leave the city. There are very few people who are looking to stay and fight for the cause.
No, I agree. We should fight here for as long as we can, but someone needs
You saying
to...
you want to leave?
We believe we know what's causing the conflict, and we can stop it at its source.
So,
Why don't you have a
believe
drink?
that the orcs...
We believe the orcs are being driven by a greater demonic force, and we are hunting down that force. While we can stay and fight and kill as many orcs as we possibly can, it will have less effect than going out and trying to cut the head off the snake, so to speak.
I'm not...
We know you are here for the greater good, and you have helped us before. It's great sacrifice to yourself, and we believe that what we will do will eventually ease the suffering of this city.
We also don't imagine that we can leave without payment, so we've brought this as a sign of good faith, but if you need any high priority targets whacked on the way out, we can arrange something like that.
Absolutely, and we both have the kinds of connections that in the future mean that we can assist you, repay the favor of the greater good you have done here today.
Sure, well... I have one thing that you could realistically do. I understand that you're great and powerful warriors, you don't want to lend yourself to our conflict. And, but I don't think you're quite capable of wiping out the orc general, whacking them, so to speak. You want to sneak into their camp in the middle of the night and dispatch them in the middle of other troops. I think that your lives would be wasted on that. So, I've got another option. I need information. I need information sent back to me. Preferably as soon as possible, but I also need information to get out. Detailed information. Now, I trust you guys. I trust you, Wentworth.
Yes, very trustworthy, Mr.
We are very
Winston.
grateful that you brought the lords to us. So, I will entrust you with a message. We've been doing detailed reconnaissance on the orc forces, their positions, their powers, where they're stationed, and how to detail them, and how to deal with them as best as possible. And so, we need this information to get out.
Absolutely.
Where do you
Can
need
take
it to
with
go?
Well, if the gods are with us, then there's an army riding from Neverwinter as we speak. It should have left as soon as the first thaw happened. They should be on their way. I imagine they'll be here within a few weeks to help relieve the siege, break the lines.
We'll spread the word. We absolutely can. We intend to pass.
We don't want everyone to know this. You would need to deliver the message directly to the scouts or the head of the Lord's Alliance army that marches from Neverwinter.
What route will they take?
Likely they'll run in two parts. They'll have some going by ship to Luskan, and the rest of the army will travel by road, along the high road. They head straight up from Neverwinter, through Luskan, and then via Luskan to Miribar.
We were heading straight to Luskan. We would be able to hopefully deliver this message to their vanguard as quickly as possible.
Alright.
What format does this message take? How much size, quantity do you need it encrypted? Is it already encrypted?
It's already encrypted. It's in this rock.
Nope.
It's been enchanted with a magic mouth spell.
Fantastic.
It has an encrypted message in it. You need but squeeze it to get the message out of it.
Not getting a message.
I'll leave that in your capable hands.
You'll need to present this rock
Yep.
and this seal. It presents an Axe of Miribar seal.
Yep.
That seems to have a stamp in it. which pertain to one of the leadership positions within the Acts of Miribar. To whoever, and I do not know who it is who's leading the army, is in charge of this army.
Perfect.
You will need to show the seal and tell them that you have been requested to deliver this information on behalf of Goldbeard of the Acts of Miribar.
Are there any mugs at the table or anything that I can use?
You guys are just standing outside the medical tent at the moment, in a quiet corner, having this conversation in hushed tones.
Okay. A deal then. Let us have a drink to celebrate this new alliance. Your favor will be repaid. For today, you work on the side of justice.
I definitely could do with a drink before I go back to it, but I don't really have time for that here. I'll do that in my own quarters.
We'll have the barrel delivered to you then.
And he notices for the first time that you're carrying a barrel.
Yeah.
And he goes, is it wrapped in a cloth, I imagine?
Yeah.
He goes, what's in your barrel?
This was actually a present. So, there is some mead that I believe may
You're
have
going
been...
to take the fabric off? And he's like, I recognize that craftsmanship. Why, that barrel alone is worth a fortune.
I expect so.
Still got its contents? My goodness, man, where did you get this?
Let's just say that there were some enthusiastic fleers during the fall of the southern city, and I have no idea, but it somehow ended up with us.
The orcs had fully taken this level of our storage rooms. This brewery was written off as gone. Why, there's probably only a few barrels of this 500-year-old mead left.
Remember Gus.
500 years?
Gus is not getting any of this.
Cut
No.
to scene of orcs. Oh! Bloody heck! This is full of gold! Let it go! Clunk, 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 clunk. Pass it out to all the boys!
Frankly, it's delicious.
Well, we
Yes,
know...
I know. Once at Christmas, I remember. Once during the holidays, I remember my mother managed to get a very small flask of this and allowed me a taste of it. Oh my gosh. That's a memory I'll live with for the rest of my life. Would you mind if I fill a flask?
No, of course not. We should drink to our new alliance and the deal we
Please.
have just made.
Of course. Well, come meet me here at dawn. And we will be able to usher you and your group out of this city to the best of our capabilities. We'll be able to get you as far to the north, probably 3 miles.
Perfect.
From there, you'll be on your own. You'll come out in the foothills of the World's Edge Mountains.
Perfect. In the fall of some of your tunnels, there were artisans still producing and selling their goods that looked of an unmatched quality. Did any of those make it out safely?
We have plenty of artisans in our midst, of course. The dwarves. The best artisans are in the Undercity on this side of the river.
It's gone.
I
Just have to
know.
let it go.
I know. Got no cash left.
At this point, the Gus and Thea, you're wandering by on your way back to your accommodations.
Yep.
And you catch a smell. It smells like honey.
Just a brief moment, part of my space that's just like shaped bear-wise. I'm like,
What is it, Gus? Tell me more.
Bus scratches a few fleas off the side of his armor.
no, there's no fleas. This is clean. This is clean fungal mold. There's a 527-year-old honey mead in here. My father used to have it in his townhouse when he was head of the university. I haven't had it in a long time.
I do detect an aroma that is not just death and dying around here.
There is an undertone of hearts, though.
Yes, and sweetmeats, maybe.
Bit of scorch.
Brimstone, sulfur.
Is that dick?
Too much laughter.
It's a little bit of interplanar genitalia.
Wow, that is a bit of strange.
Yeah.
Is
It's the
it coming
strangest of
from
strange.
the tent here?
So you start wafting like a bloodhound on the trail,
I'm just gonna
and
follow
as
Gus, 'cause
the two of
clearly
you,
he
as
knows
you're,
where
this
he's
is happening as you're pouring out it into
Yeah.
the flask, and it's not just him. You sort of look around and you see amongst the camp there are several other dwarves who are.
I clocked him. We get that out. I was like,
Do you saw
And
that?
you
I
see-
saw that.
And as you guys are
Reminds
pouring
me of
this
being a
out, you
woodsman
see
party.
Haral and Spear. You see his eyes going quickly, man. Just keep it covered.
Like a
Look around, like puts a cork on it and puts it away. And is, all right, good. I'll see you here in the morning. I've got to get out of
Use
here.
this for good. This could turn the tide of a battle.
And he parts ways with you, and then you see Gus burst through into the scene as Bernard and Saya, wiping off their hands, come stepping out of the medical tent. And the novices, they look to cry after you as if they were more injured to be healed, but then they think of the horrible, harrowing screams and cries they heard earlier.
Can I cast a...
You should spend some time and heal a few people.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna...
Oh, sassy.
Oh, right, because now she should do a good thing.
You gotta
I'm
balance
actually
out.
gonna-
Balance that shit out.
I have
Yeah.
some
If
cure
they'll
wounds.
let me, I'll
This is
stay
already
and keep
the face.
curing the wounded.
you don't let me.
I'll just come out next.
Everyone's like, I'm good. It's a flesh wound. It's just like an arm's been ripped off. It's like, it's good. I can just hold it.
I just casually walk past and cast.
I could just
cure wounds.
imagine your
I also
hovering
wanna
near your
use
shoulder,
mending.
like
I
lusting
also-
after all the dead, like
To
all
fix
the...
your clothes.
to fix my clothes, and I also want to use cure wounds on myself to fix that cut on me.
Okay.
Priorities.
Selfish cure wounds.
It's not right.
The as you're cleaning that up, the demon says, or the imp is now invisible, is whispering in your ear. Apparently, it's just been sitting on your shoulder the whole time. It's like, you don't need to close it up. If you keep your wounds open, I will trade you secrets to suck on your supple juices.
Oh, if you hadn't said supple juices.
You don't want the tough
Okay, you
ones.
started all this. Now we have to deal with dick
I'll-
penises. Like demon
Well, but-
penises.
After,
Well,
Dickless
Less
and
now,
armless.
so,
I will
yeah,
feed
should
you,
be
but
less
not
motivated
until
Like
by
later.
sup
supple.
on the juices and their
it
masters
seems a
while
little-
planning their death.
Disgruntled.
But I
at
gave you Arthur, but if you want this heart.
Are you just holding up a heart that vanishes in midair?
This person didn't make it. Sorry.
This one right here. This is not so.
Oh, they've been
I'll say this
stabbed
happens
right
in the
in the
operating
heart.
theatre. So you come out because you hear their voices, and then you.
Team, hi.
Oh, hey gang!
Hey!
Whoa!
How's it going?
So
Yeah, that's
Everyone.
There's,
What are you
there's,
guys doing here? I thought we were gonna
there's
come meet
something
you in
going
the
on
tavern.
here.
No, we've
good
been
news.
healing the sick.
Gus
Well,
went
we've got
to
a
see-
way out of the city.
The smell seems to be
Oh.
radiating from Peral.
Okay.
That's good because we don't
You
have
go-
a way out of the city. We saw it's just stinky, feces-filled moat, giant orc walls, hundreds of campfires beyond that.
Sounds great.
Not an option.
Well, we have spoken with the dwarves and they will help us get as far as about 3 miles north in exchange for effectively, doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Because, we're
Basically.
all good people here who are
Working
here
for a
to
good
ensure
cause.
that no one has to suffer unnecessarily.
And
No, well, let's
Excellent.
Yeah.
rephrase that as like doing what it takes for the greater good.
No, doing great things.
Great
and
things.
good
And
things
good
for
things.
great
and not
causes.
allowing
Greater
our
good.
honor to slip.
no, hang on a minute.
Into the
I
way
need to
of,
know what's going on
decisions
here.
that need to be taken.
There's
Leading-
something
showing our
suspect
devotion
going on
to
here.
the good things,
Sorry.
the deeds that we do every day.
Didn't they come
Can
to
you smell that?
We're all on the same
So
team.
Bernard,
That honey.
Yeri,
I
whispering
choose
in your ear. Oh, your foolish friends. Oh, you are a
Look.
delightful terror. You are succouring them all into a fate that you will follow.
Gus,
Yeah.
Gus, I need you to stay 5 feet apart from me.
Why?
I can explain your little mystery
You see
I
a little
just don't
bear
trust
ear sort
you.
of twitch out and then flare back in.
There's like little tendrils of like fungus, just like slowly. Like,
I need you far enough back for a
The air gets
attack of
thicker
opportunity
around you.
reaction if necessary.
Have you been helping to cure some of the
We-
wounded here?
have you
Yeah,
been
that
alleviating
sort
the
of stuff.
suffering?
Generally.
More or
Alleviating
less.
the suffering
I've been-
of the
I've been helping-
innocents who
I've been-
died here today.
It ended.
I've been helping Saria do what she needs to do.
How many
Whose souls will be guided to a higher
people
plane.
around here need healing?
Many. This is a medical tent.
Still going.
I've got healing.
Oh,
You can set up.
I just pop out I'm like, oh, you need a hand? I was put out a buddy, and Buddy's just like, just doing.
How many times have you done buddy today?
This will be 2.
Yeah.
Second buddy.
Nice. All right,
Get-
cool. Yep.
get everyone
you
up and
do some
running.
healing in the tent.
Now, I will give you
Mm.
one
This room is cleared of sick people now. Let's spit it out.
tiny thimbleful, because this is going to a good cause, and that good cause is not you.
So you're in there. You go back in, and you look around, and you see Buddy appear, and then he goes to start walking towards people, and you're like, those people haven't had their bones set yet. That guy doesn't even have his fucking stomach. Put it back in.
Okay.
Like, he's
so
gonna have his
I
intestines hanging outside of his
Gus,
body. if
Gus,
Buddy-
Gus,
Yep,
Gus,
yep, yep.
Gus. No,
He's
get
the
rid of Buddy,
doctor.
get rid of Buddy,
What?
get rid of Buddy.
I stopped
He's not.
Buddy?
Yeah, please
What's
stop
wrong?
Buddy. Please stop Buddy. He's not. I need to set like this guy's stomach is not in him. If he heals like that, it's gonna be an issue.
I mean, I can. Oh, this
yeah.
is the surgery tent.
Make a medicine roll.
That's 25.
Damn.
Nat 20.
I'm actually.
You're like
extremely
a
This is,
real
confused.
healer.
actually,
I have
this is
5.
actually the first time you even realize that that's a significant issue, because so much of the time you're just catching people with bumps and bruises in battlefield
Yeah.
situations. Nothing this significant has happened before. And yes, they have healers. They have access to healing. They have people. The people who are still here are people who need real medicine, not just magical healing.
Magicien. I'm actually a reasonably good healer as well.
Well,
I mean, if,
you can
somebody's
help
gotta
if
be.
you want.
But I guess being drunk doesn't help.
When you're distracted
I'm
by
not
the fact
drunk
you
at the
just-
moment.
Make a stamina roll.
You're
Or
distracted
stamina.
by
What is
the,
it? Constitution, please.
Constitution.
Saving throw. DC 13.
But is he or is
Well,
he
that's
not
a
smarter
13
than
on the
average
die.
bear?
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I get used to it, but what's this good cause?
What healing the
We're,
sick?
we're using this
No,
to
not
pay
the
our way
sick.
out of the city.
Did you already?
Did Goldbeard leave with the
No.
canister?
He
took
just
a
wanted
flask.
a
No, he
flask.
just took a flask of it. He's left.
You still got
crazy.
the crate or the
Okay.
thing.
So
So we
fast
now have
now.
a huge amount of money.
No.
in-
What?
Yeah, it's ours.
Portable mead. But you were going to gift it to them, were you?
I was gonna give it to them.
They were happy
And
with the
he
flask.
totally
That's the excess you got for Gus.
right. Well, no. I'm gonna.
Well, they're doing this in exchange for the delivery of the message, so that's your payment.
Okay, cool.
Remember?
So
Alright, so.
I'm going to give a little thimbleful for everyone.
As a celebration for a team, because we're about to exit
We
the
all
city.
have a
and we-
little bit of a triumphant clink,
Alright.
and then I'm gonna go and trade this for something good.
Where? Are you not on the verge of exiting the city?
Tomorrow morning, yeah, at dawn.
No,
At dawn, okay.
I've got
Cool.
like till dawn
Well, you got till
minus
noon.
4
We got till
hours.
noon. You're right. 10 in the morning. My bad. Definitely go on then. Make us a. How much did he say it was worth?
You didn't actually see anything. It was like
It was
No, I did. He said, like,
500 years. It is
50 yeah, it was, like-
priceless.
500,
Priceless.
527.
Priceless.
No, you're, no,
priceless.
but he said it was
Years,
something like 15.
500-year-old.
Irreplaceable
Anyway.
500-plus-year-old dwarven mead. He
527.
Yes.
basically
And it's also not even just that.
ruined himself.
The whole brewery has now gone under, so we're actually
Yeah.
like holding one of the last casks in existence. So
Yep,
supply
so
demand is
basically-
like tripled in worth.
Yeah.
Surely it's something that we should take with us.
Give me an
because that could give us
intelligence
some
roll, Perel.
Value.
Is there any way you
and
can even sell it
negotiate
here?
along the way.
20.
You don't think you. The reason you got it so cheap is because there's a lot of things in this city, and they ain't worth shit because it's under siege.
This is not a place to sell the thing.
I can
Let's take it
trade
with
this for my old armor suit back to an asshole of a person. They're dwarves, it's practically their culture.
Yes.
That's an expensive piece of armor.
Yeah,
It is an
he's
expensive
really
piece of
into it
armor,
because
it
it makes
turns
him
out.
shine. It makes him shiny. It's that one, right?
And
The
we
one that
don't
makes you
need
shiny.
this
It's
barrel.
the one that makes me shiny but not gaudy, so I need that.
So why don't we empty it down to about a third, and we'll trade that for your armor.
Because that Thimbleworth that you just had, boy,
Makes
it
you
makes
super
you want
dumb.
some more.
I know.
You're gonna
I
have to,
will-
like, stand guard over this all night.
You're within 5 feet of Saria, which means your sneak attack, Vil.
She's an ally.
Who's out?
Is she?
I'm,
Is she
if
though?
Which
I
means
have
he's
to choose
flanking.
between you and Peral, who do you think I'm gonna go for?
It's okay, Gus. I'll
She
go.
doesn't
I
like
got your
mushrooms
back,
that
Gus.
much.
Are you
It's fine.
going to attack me?
Are we
For just
starting some
standing
kind
still?
of internal
Right, I
street?
think we
I
should
feel like we're gonna have
have
a
a good
dance
night's
off
I'm
here.
gonna after
The
we
only
do
way
our
to
bit of
resolve
drink,
it. Dance
I'm gonna
off.
leave you all
You guys
to
are imp like cheerleaders, though. That's
do
unfair.
medicine, and I'm gonna see what I can swap this for.
Where are you going to do that?
I'm gonna try and get into Dwarfville.
Well,
Well,
the
I'm
markets
gonna
have
go to Dwarfville
relocated, so
tomorrow.
all of the,
Oh,
there are this central market
Yep.
now has been a thoroughfare. You'd have to find out if there was another dwarven market,
Yep.
or you could just go to one of the many other markets that are around the place. You know that there are some trading places.
I do know the one particular guy.
But
that
he
I'm
runs
hunting
he
for.
ran a store.
He does run a stall.
It's pretty portable.
It is pretty
Yeah,
portable.
it was intended to be portable. That was the whole idea.
Oh.
Remember, it was interdimensionally portable.
I think we need to have a good night's rest because we have a big day ahead.
Yeah, I'll say 4 hours. It's fine.
I need
Okay.
a big night's rest because I've got a big day ahead.
Alright, so you guys return to the abode for the night?
I'll heal. I'll stay back and heal some.
Alright, so you spend the night
I'll stay
healing
with her.
people. Gus, you gonna stay here
I'll actually
as
say
well?
I'll
I
intersperse
only
between
did 4
healing
hours,
and
so
drinking
just
medicinal
Trying to feel less
alcohol.
guilty about what you've done.
I'm worried
That's
about
true.
that.
This thing would be
And
vastly
where
more
do
valuable
you?
than
I need to know for both of you. Where is it that you keep your penis?
In my penis bag.
How big is it again?
Don't you dare put that in a
Oh, okay. No, it's not going in a locket. I just have a little. I'll just buy. Can I buy like a cheap like trinket and then like just wear it around
So
my
a
neck?
locket. You're going to pour it in a locket.
I'm not gonna
No, you get a like
Actually, that's a great idea.
I'm not gonna
copper
put it in
or
a
a
locket.
brass
For I was just saying that
reliquary
because like,
tube.
that's where I'd keep a dick if I had a dick
Around
in a
your-
locket.
You lock it up.
Yeah.
If I had a
That's a lie. I'm
Look
not
at
keeping
that.
it around my neck. I want
Look
to
at
keep
the dick
it.
I have.
In a long bay wallet.
No, around my neck.
in a
It's not
pocket
alright.
over your heart.
Hmm.
No.
And
Something else
Bernard,
goes
where do
there.
you
Just
keep
gonna-
your left arm?
Question: does the left arm still move and scratch and try and do all that sort of shit?
A little bit, yeah.
In my pocket.
I got something in my pocket for you.
This is
In
gonna
your-
be grabbing
in your
your dick all the
jacket?
time now.
Any particular pocket or just whatever pocket is convenient?
Goodness.
It will be in my breast pocket in the vest.
Over the heart.
You can use it as a back scratcher.
Back scratcher?
Mm.
Yeah. Or atomic back scratcher.
Yeah. Perfect.
In the notes of the ritual, it tells you that these creatures will try no end to get their limbs back. Alright, cool. So, where to? So you guys spend the night, so
Healing.
you two spend the night healing. I'm assuming you're
Feel out some markets.
looking for markets, so you're going to make an investigation roll.
Yep.
Theo?
Going back to our accommodation, making sure everything's packed up, ready to go.
Okay, you're going to get
Actually,
back
no,
up
we're
and
gonna
ready to
all
go.
rest.
Bernard?
I'm instructing my imp to do a task that will take approximately 8 or 10 hours.
What is it?
I want him to collect me approximately 250
Massage my
of the
corns.
little central belt spikes from the orc encampment.
Because they're all going to
I'm
wake
so
up tomorrow
glad
morning
that
and
we
not
have
be able to
this
get
up
pants
me.
on.
He's like, okay, that sounds like heaps of fun.
And here's some poison. Go and poison orc.
Or it's very
General?
happy. It's excellent. Good.
This is like a test. I want to see how you can be trusted with improvisation.
You can earn back a finger at a time.
Maximum.
Mhm.
Stick 'em on the stick.
Right, so it takes your poison. Cool. This is some of the DC 13 Constitution check D12 damage poison.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, great. So it leaves. Spear.
I am
Preparation
going
for the
to
morning.
get ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Probably write a letter for the temple.
It's gonna leave him a letter.
Let them know that.
Send him a text.
Yeah, pretty much.
Breaking
Sending
up
them a
with you.
text. I don't want to interrupt them when they're
It's not
sleeping.
you,
I
it's
have an
me.
excuse.
I've outgrown you.
Just, I've had to go, but I will seek out temples in the cities I visit. And, gather my things and have a good night's sleep and do some praying and reflecting and preparing myself for
Whenever the wind
the
blows.
next stage of our awesome adventure.
It's a temple of balm.
Alright. So, you all rest. Turn in for the night. You make an investigation roll.
15.
You
Wow.
manage
Sorry,
to
that seemed like-
find information saying that the person has gone underground and gone north.
Oh,
This is your merchant friend,
whacking on the road.
Oh.
who's sorry.
Oh wait, no, you're a merchant friend.
Yeah.
Not our merchant friend.
No.
Darley Oric
That's him.
has taken his little stall and he's looking to get out of the city himself. So he's taking the northern tunnels, which is the ones that you're going to be taking tomorrow. But he took them about a day ago, from what you discover.
Awesome. I'll hold on to my barrel and make it a little less conspicuous.
Okay. Hide it, seal it with some wax to stop
jeez,
it
yes,
from
to
smelling
stop.
so bad. I mean, so good.
Gus. And bears. Other random bears.
At some night, I will just turn myself into a very small insect and just crawl in the barrel.
You won't be able to get through the wax.
I'll normally I'll termite.
Take a long time.
You wake up
Drowning in a
to an
barrel.
arrow pointing at your
Termite.
little termite face.
I drink so little when I'm in insect form, though.
Do you actually?
No.
Just tell me if you do, because that's interesting.
Drown.
Drilling a hole through a barrel.
It's
Anyway,
interesting.
regardless, let's just say you try, and after the first 3 bites, your insect loses all of its hit points to the poison that has been used to treat the wood in the barrel to protect it from termites and other insects.
So what happens is I just fully formed around the barrel, like.
He's like gnawing at it.
I just like. I'm like, oh, my bad, and then I just like walk away with it.
You have
You are
no
not-
idea what we paid for that.
No, thank God.
You're incredible.
And you all wake up in the morning after your night of investigation, your rest, packed. You go to settle your bill. You're just looking after the bill.
Yeah.
And you make ready with all your supplies.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have more things than you usually carry. So how are you going to... You're just going to take all your stuff and walk out?
Go, come here. So I just like resume the position. And I'm like, put it on. And I just stack it all up, and then
Most
like,
of it's souvenirs now.
yeah, I've got like the spoons. I got like, all the, and it's like, shook, and I'll turn into your familiar.
So
And I'm just sitting on the ground. I'm like,
being a
you're gonna have to
professional
pick me up and
noble,
put you on your
Pick me
shoulder.
up, yeah.
I can't fly.
we
I haven't figured out the wings yet.
we leave enough sundries that the room still looks lived in for a bit.
Okay, cool. Give me a roll. Deception.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Awesome. Cool. Well, you guys make your way out
And the
in the morning.
Wentworths are good for it anyway.
And the other way out, the maitre d' goes,
See you
have a good day,
tomorrow."
Sphere. See you back this evening. Have a good day, Lord Andal Wentworth. See you when you come back this evening.
Yeah, I'll see you next time I'm here.
See you tonight.
Good day. Tip their hats.
Am I aware that they're trying to skip on the bill? Because I'm not sure I believe that's a good
Give me
idea.
an insight. Insight.
Your morality is so dumb. When people are doing bad things that are little white lies, you're like,
Do you
How
understand?
You don't understand what's going on here.
Do you know how infrequently
My
nobles
insight
actually settle up
is
their bills?
13.
like you shouldn't.
Deception.
How much will it cost?
Well, that's the thing. Like, a noble will settle up the bill once every year or so. Well, deception was 8.
Yes, you are aware that he's trying to skip out on the bill. But
You are also aware that I am good for it.
No, this isn't a morality play or anything like that. This is actually just straight up. I think it's a disadvantage to trash the Wentworth name because it's a valuable asset for us, and I know that he's going to do that. So actually, I'll let them think that they've conned that, and then I will go up and say, Lord Wentworth has instructed me to just quickly settle the outstanding tab at this point.
Saya has all your money.
Ah, yes, of course. How much is it? How much are we? How
I'm
much are we
literally
out?
sitting on your shoulder.
Of course, we are in terribly pressing times, so there was a mild surplus, unfortunately, due to the various expenses of getting the food and other bits and pieces that we need to service your stay here. If you could just, it's only a 200 gold with a 20% surcharge.
Perfectly reasonable. Yes, sir. Oh, don't carry money at all anymore. I let the help do that. I'll be back.
Huh? Why don't you pay him with bonfires?
You're right,
So you
though.
duck out?
We need to keep that name.
Bernard, what's up?
I'm gonna need a little bit of cash.
How much?
Just some spending.
Okay. Yeah.
300.
300? Yeah, sure. Just in...
Cheese or money?
Just give me 200 in gems, and then the rest in
Cheese.
No, 200 in gems, 20 in coins, and 80 in
10 gold a
cheese.
mouthful.
I give you 200 in gems. Yeah, I give you that.
Alright, cool. And you return?
I did.
That is actually way less than I was expecting.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're always welcome back here anytime. We look forward to seeing yourself and the Lord Andal Wentworth. And of course, if you need to stay by yourself at any time, you're also welcome, Archmage Bernard. Or
Thank you,
Archmage
thank you,
Witchkicked.
thank you. I will require a receipt.
Certainly.
I assume that invitation is extended to the Druid?
So they take a moment, and you guys are all waiting outside, going, "Where the heck's Bernard?" A group of young people have come up to you. "Oh, please, sir, do you mind helping me?
No,
my nan's
I'm
sick."
on his shoulder.
Oh,
as-
okay, so they don't even
as a
know
raven.
they're all looking
sassy
around. Where's
familiar.
Gus?
I'm the
Where's
sassy
Gus?
familiar. Archmage.
And they write you. First, they write you a receipt. Second, they write you a letter of introduction saying that you're at good standing at the Lord's Rest. They show this to any of the other stately rooms, or stately manors that you wish to stay in around in any of the major cities that you're traveling through. And I'm sure that'll give you a good amount of stay.
You are very kind, sir, and I tip him personally a Jats with a little slice of the cheese that I'm currently getting into.
Is it my cheese?
Don't eat that all.
It is not your cheese, no,
Oh.
no, it's just the...
I'm
I'm saving that.
the
I
good
need to-
dwarf cheese, right?
Yeah, and I tip it, basically. In cheese.
Excellent.
Awesome. Some culture for you.
Alright, and you all meet up and head to the Dwarven Market to meet up with Goldbeard, to go under and make your way out of the city and then south to Luskan.
Fantastic.
We're going to end game there, guys.